Yes, yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. Yes. If you look at Sunday Nation newspaper today, it has a very, very interesting story. A story that is going to form the basis of our analysis and discussion today. So if in case you've just bumped on this YouTube channel for the very first time, kindly subscribe and also give this video a like. Give it a like, please. Thank you. God bless you. Let's have a look at the story, after which we shall dissect it and see exactly the story behind it. Yes. Sunday Nation. Uhuru, Raila 2022 coalition plan revealed. And then down there, it says, ODM candidate proposed for president with a Jubilee running mate in draft agreement by a handshake team that awaits approval of the two-party leaders as prospects of joining forces ahead of next year's election inch closer. And then they at the top their bit, politics, power sharing deal to leave room for other parties to join. That's Sunday Nation newspaper today's headline. And if you read through the story, it's just trying to tell us that there is already an agreement between Jubilee Party and ODM Party to front Raila Amolo Odinga as their joint presidential candidate. And then Jubilee Party has been tasked with the responsibility of fielding a running mate or finding a suitable running mate for Raila Amolo Odinga. That's the story as it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that some few months ago, about 2 or 3 months now, Jubilee Party nominated some people, and then also ODM nominated some people, and then this team was tasked with the responsibility of finding a working coalition formula or agreement between ODM and Jubilee Party. So that team has come out, or rather has come up, with a joint presidential candidate, Raila being the candidate, and Jubilee coming out with a running mate or proposing a running mate. So in this video today, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to actually understand the story behind that story. To really see exactly, assuming that thing sees the light of day, and Uhuru and Raila signs it into agreement. What are the political significance of that kind of a deal? Because as of now, we are told that the agreement has been forwarded to the party leaders, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga, waiting for their signatures, after which it now becomes official. So assuming these two party leaders append their signature, what's the political significance of that kind of a deal? That's our analysis and discussion. I strongly believe that the first thing, assuming President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga agrees and signs that kind of an agreement, then most likely Raila will come out now to announce or declare his presidential bid for next year's election. Because yesterday, Raila was in Homa Bay County and he stated that he's not in a hurry to declare his presidential ambition, for they are still uniting Kenya. So as looking at this story, I believe that Raila as of now doesn't want to declare his candidature because they are still working on some broad coalition agreement. Raila is still trying to see if he can sign a deal with Uhuru, and if possible, they rope one or two of the Oka principles. Then after that now, Raila will come out clearly to announce his presidential ambition. And that's a reason also, I believe, Raila is still buying time. He doesn't want to announce his bid because of this kind of technicalities behind the scene. He's still waiting to have some kind of agreement with all these leaders. So that's going to be we are in our next video, maybe today. I'm going to analyze into details the most likely reasons why Raila is also still going slow on declaring his presidential ambition. We are going to discuss it into details. And then the second thing that most likely will happen, or the meaning, is that the confusion that is currently being witnessed in the handshake team will definitely end, for the direction shall have been given. The contest shall have been defined, a Raila-Ruto battle. You know, as of now, there seems to be a lot of confusion in the handshake team. And Tanga are really finding it easy to spew a lot of propaganda as a result of that confusion. You know, Dennis Itumbi, the perceived Tanga spokesman, has really been insinuating that the president is doing all he can to weaken Raila Amolo Odinga. That has been the Tanga feeling. And that's something that really elicits joy among Tanga supporters. Simply because they fear Raila so much that in the event Raila is on the race, then Tanga most likely, from where I sit, they know that the race, they have lost that race altogether. So Tanga as of now, they are really taking that advantage of the confusion in the handshake team to spew a lot of propaganda. And immediately, let me put it this way, one thing that I must give credit to Tanga, they know for a fact and for sure that anytime there seems to be confusion in the handshake, or anytime there seems to be a discord between Raila and Uhuru, then the person who gets a lot of credit is actually William Ruto. William Ruto becomes strong as Kenyans think that if there is a perception that there is a distrust between Uhuru and Raila, then the person who gains is William Ruto. And Tanga has really been trying to portray that kind of a situation. So if Uhuru and Raila signs this deal, then it simply means that the confusion most likely will end. A direction shall have been given, and the rest shall have now been defined. And then thirdly, ladies and gentlemen, assuming that happens, then we are most likely going to see a major shift of leaders aligning themselves with Raila Amolo Odinga. We are most likely going to see that shift. Most leaders are going to start identifying and aligning themselves with Raila Amolo Odinga and even swearing allegiance to him. The likes of Mukisa Kituis, Kivuza Kibwana, Ngilu, Mutua, and some of these other small parties. Most likely, you are just going to see them now coming out in broad daylight and boldly to endorse Raila Amolo Odinga. Because now they will feel that Raila most likely has the best chance of winning the presidency next year. That's the nature of our Kenyan politics. Anyway, it's what we call the bandwagon effect. The bandwagon effect. And then fourthly, ladies and gentlemen, if that happens, then definitely Oka will disintegrate. For in this YouTube channel, I've always maintained that Oka was formed for two things: to propel a Gideon Moi presidency and also to weaken William Ruto. So in a nutshell, Oka was formed to checkmate both Ruto and Raila. So assuming Uhuru agrees to this kind of a deal, then it simply means Oka will cease. Oka will disintegrate. It will not be there. It will not exist. And then assuming Oka disintegrates, most likely we shall see Kalonzo, Gideon, and Wetangula aligning themselves with Raila Amolo Odinga, most likely. And then Musalia Mudavadi, if you look at the political history of Musalia Mudavadi, history tells us that Musalia Mudavadi might bolt out of Raila Amolo Odinga as we head towards 2022. I'm saying that because if you look at Musalia's political journey with Raila, if he's with Raila in this election, next election he's not with Raila. So it seems to be a circle. So if that circle is to be maintained, then naturally, Musalia Mudavadi might not be with Raila Amolo Odinga next year. Maybe he can decide to go it alone or even to join forces with other candidates, maybe even William Ruto. But definitely, from where I sit, I'm seeing Kalonzo most likely working with Raila Odinga, Gideon Moi, and even Wetangula. Because Wetangula, also just wants to be part of the government. And then fifthly, ladies and gentlemen, we might see a slight rebellion in Mount Kenya. Assuming now Uhuru signs that into an agreement, it simply means Uhuru has officially now endorsed Raila Amolo Odinga. So that might cause some little rebellion in Mount Kenya. But it will not take long before that rebellion is contained, after which we shall see Raila Odinga steadily rising on the mountain as William Ruto declines significantly on the mountain. We are most likely going to see that kind of a scenario. Raila will be rising as William Ruto will be declining. And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, assuming that also happens and these two leaders just signs it into agreement, Raila's support base will be energized, and we might see more of Raila's supporters coming out boldly to declare support for Raila Odinga. Because as of now, a majority of Raila supporters, they are a little bit disillusioned. They have been voting for this their favorite candidate in all these elections, but it's widely believed that his election is always being stolen by the system. So Uhuru now coming out to endorse Raila, it's a clear indication that the system is now with Raila Amolo Odinga. So we shall see these Raila Odinga supporters now coming out boldly and confidently to declare their support for Raila Amolo Odinga. In fact, we might now see them overtaking Oda. Oda supporters as of now are very, very much excited. So you might now find Raila supporters now coming out even more loudly than even Oda supporters as of now. So I believe that those are the 6 things that might happen, assuming Uhuru and Raila signs that agreement into some kind of a deal. There might be other reasons, but I believe that these 6 are the most likable or the most likely meaning of Uhuru and Raila signing that agreement into a deal. So if in case you've just bumped on this YouTube channel for the very first time, just as I did mention when we were starting, kindly subscribe and also give this video a like. Give it a like. And to those watching us for the very first time outside of Kenya, if you are watching us for the very first time and you are watching us outside of Kenya, drop a comment and let us know from which part of the globe you are also watching us from. Also subscribe and also give this video a like. To our continued fans and subscribers, I lack words. I just lack words. But let me tell you, may God bless you and your families. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana.